Salakia for that. This is part two of this sit down lesson of Iran and Russia. Of, you know, Let me go back up to it. Russia and Iran launching a system as a alternative to Swift. This is part two of this lesson. Salakia, I had cut short of the video because I had an interruption of a phone call. So I had to start part one of the video, and this is part two. But I'm going to continue on with the reading. And it says, Iran banks no longer need to SWIFT with Russian. Iran banks no longer need to use SWIFT with Russian banks. What can be for opening of letters of credit and transfer warranties. Deputy Governor of Iran's central bank told the semi-official FAR news agencies. It says Swift is a Belgium-based financial messaging platform that allows trillions of dollars of worth of money to cross borders daily, and also used for foreign exchange settlements and trades. U.S. banks often act as immediate intermediaries in the transactions. The decision to create an alternative payment system is the latest sign that Iran and Russia are moving beyond a marriage of convenience in hotspots like Syria for a more comprehensive partnership against the West. Tehran has already emerged as one of Russia's key foreign arm appliers with drone shipments, but the two are depending on economic cooperations in the face of Western sanctions. Same thing with China and Russia are doing. Got that economic cooperation with one another. Now you're seeing Russia and Iran doing that as well too. And I believe Russia had talks with Saudi Arabia as well too. I forgot what it was about. I believe it was from an economic standpoint as well too. Because Saudi Arabia are allies with the United States as well too. And this comes within, I believe last week, Saudi Arabia had the same idea of exiting the partnership with the United States when it comes to economic trade, I believe. And they was coming with their own form of currency or form a new currency with one of their allies. So that shows you an increasing shift of, these nations are that formally or currently that's partners with the United States or with the EU or with the, that used to do importing or exporting or exchanging currency between the United States and EU. These nations are continually swifting away from the US dollar and the euro dollar as well too, and they're coming with their own form of payment currency, their own form of payment system, and they're shifting away from the paper dollar, and it's going to getting close to the full implementing of digital currency. And that's what we're seeing, taking a major shift of turning as what we're seeing that, and that's when that MOTB, that charagma comes around, and we're seeing increasing signs of that. So I just want to add a note to that. And it says, last year, Javad Al-Jah, Iran's Minister of Oil, said that Tehran agrees to use national currency for the settlement of trade and energy payments with Russia. Both countries have attacked the dominance of the U.S. dollar in the global financial system. U.S. sanctions carry hefty because of the bulk of global trade is conducted on the greenback. It says Russia's central banks declined on commenting on the deal signed on Sunday. According to Kormami, about 700 Russian banks and 106 non-Russian banks from 13 different countries will be connected to this system. He didn't name the foreign banks. The pri- uh, prior station of the East. Both countries have deepening, amending isolation in the West. Uh, Vladimir Putin, first trip outside of former Soviet Union since invading Ukraine was to Iran. Putin has promised to accelerate the Iran's bid to join Shanghai, which I mentioned before. The continuing between those two countries of Russia and China, or Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which is the SCO, a Central Asian security bloc designed a counterweight to Western influence in Euro-Asia. And it says officials who are sanctioned by the U.S., including Russia, and Security Chief Nikolai Pershkovich has been welcomed to the Islamic Republic, while Russia business tycoon has turned to Iran for help on, on navigating Western sanctions. Henry Rome, a senior fellow and Iran specialist of the Washington Institute for Near East Policy, told the MEE previously that the Tehran building relationship with Kremlin marked the end of Iran's neither east nor west idol and the prioritization of the east. It says Monday's announcement of banking comes as Russia supplants China as the Islamic Republic biggest investor. Donia E. Asted, an Iranian newspaper, report on Saturday, citing a senior Iranian trade official. The countries have faced mount economic challenges. However, a Western sanction have forced them to compete over oil and petroleum product sales. This is the book of Revelations. So we are definitely living in the increasing signs in the book of Revelations. We're definitely closer than ever in the book of Revelations. We can see signs of that, especially when it comes to this quickly approaching of this MOTB, of the scripture I'm about to bring out. And this is the book of Revelations. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich or poor, free or bond, to perceive a MARK in their right hand, and in their FOREHEADS. Right, matter if you're rich or poor, free or bond. And that's what we're seeing, that increasing push of that digital currency, a full implement, the full implement of the digital currency. And that's what we're seeing. Now you got these nations doing partnership with one another. These nations that used to be former partners or current partners right now with the United States and the EU, or European Union, I believe, with these digital currencies, because they used to rely on them. Now they getting hit with the hard economic sanctions, just like Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, and many more other countries as well too. They are directly, increasingly swiftly turning away from the American dollar and the euro dollar as well too, and they're coming with their own. Currency, and that's what we're seeing. And this is the book of Revelation. That's why that digital currency is definitely increasingly pushing. And we're seeing the increasing push of the MOTB, the Karagma, and that's what we're seeing. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. He causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free or bond, to receive a MARK in their right hand or in their FOREHEADS. And it says Revelations 13 and 17, and that no man might buy or sell, say he that received the MARK or the name of the BEAST or the number of his name. And this is Revelations 13 and 18. Here is the wisdom. Let him that have understand and count the number of the BEAST, for it is the number of a man, and his number is SIX, 100, threescore, and SIX. Right, because that's the sign of the that MOTB, that digital currency, that Karagma, and that's what we're approaching of these nations coming with their own form of currency, their own current form of you know, their own form of payment systems, and that shows you a quick, swift direction of the paper dollar is not having no more value. That's why these nations, like I mentioned before, they're turning away from the American dollar. They're turning away from the euro dollar, the U.S. and the euro dollar. These nations are turning away from that. They're turning away from their dependence and reliance on the Western value dollar. They're not depending on that no more. As you see right here, Russia and Iran launch a payment system as a alternative to Swift. So that's where we're definitely heading into a full digital currency, as the scriptures has stated. Revelations 1:3 through verse 1:6 and through 1:8. And that's the time that we're heading into, and that's the direction that we are entering into of that full implementation of that digital currency, of the paper value of the dollar. It's no more going to be value, even though it still has value right now. But when that time comes, when it fully approaches, even though it's already here, but once it's fully implemented. Oh, all right. Okay.
Remember, I took the one off of it.
Yeah.
I ain't going to the time.
Okay. I'll be right back and use the washroom. I said I'll be right back and use the washroom. Okay. Right. So once that digital currency be fully implemented of this digital currency of the paper dollar, that's no more in value. So we're seeing increasing signs of that. So with that, I hope this sit down lesson was edifying of part 1 of this video. Now this is part 2 of this video of this recent news article that just came out of Russia and Iran launching a payment system as an alternative to Swift, as they don't rely on the Western-based payment system of these countries, especially the top ones of that list of United States and the euro dollar as well too. So that shows you a sign we're getting steps even more closer and closer to the digital currency being fully implemented. So with that, that MOTB, that Karagu. So with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Makar double honors to the elders, apostles, who preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. As I mentioned before, double honors to the elders for preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And until next time, I will say shalom.